Gearbox are an unusual developer, crafting their own superb adventures while nurturing old-time franchises in hope of rekindling them for a new audience. With the subpar Duke Nukem Forever already in the bank, the team has taken hold of the beloved Alien franchise and worked with 20th Century Fox to develop a direct continuation of the original James Cameron classic with Aliens Colonial Marines. The Xenomorph infestation continues to wreak its terror, but is the game able to conjure the same spark that makes the franchise special and stand amongst its greatest stories? Let's find out. You play as Christopher Winter, the leader of the 118th Battalion of Colonial Marines on the USS Sephora. You're sent to investigate a distress call sent out from the USS Sulaco, the expedition carrying Ellen Ripley, Corporal Hicks, and a swarm of Marines from the original film. Pretty soon, everything turns sour with the crew discovering the Xenomorph takeover that occurred on the Sulaco and getting targeted by the mysterious Weyland-Yutani Corporation, who strand them on the nearby planet of LV-426. The Marines begin rounding up their remaining forces to leave the planet amidst an investigation of the involvement of Weiyu's part in the outbreak, liberating a high-profile prisoner and trying to save a comrade from growing aliens killing her from the inside. If it sounds unfocused, it's because it is. The game moves you forward with the objectives changing at the drop of a hat, barely allowing you to settle on one focus for any more than an hour before shifting into another strain entirely. You'll find the story of the Marines far less interesting than the events going on around you, with the lack of character development and stock military macho constantly upstaged by the Weiyu conspiracy and references to the films in the franchise. There's a few pleasant surprises for fans well versed in the series that ultimately act as a course correction for a few grievances of the past, and actors Lance Henriksen and Michael Bain reprise their roles to add much needed authenticity. Colonial Marines drops you into an assortment of dark, foreboding environments across a linear campaign that lasts between 6 to 7 hours. You'll square off against a variety of different enemies, alien and human, and earn experience to rank up and unlock weapons and unlock points to purchase attachments and handy upgrades. Experience can also be earned through completing in-game challenges, finding hidden audio logs, dog tags, and legendary weapons that belong to characters in the Aliens film. The experience points carry over between campaign and multiplayer, and the combination of mode-specific upgrades makes your time investment feel rewarded and your custom loadouts all the more crowded to experiment with what's available. On the gameplay front, Colonial Marines is pretty solid, with tight gunplay and cover mechanics but stumbling on the basics, with picking up ammo and replenishments being more cumbersome than relieving. There are doors you can open easily or require use of a welding tool that can also seal the doors shut behind you to fend off enemies, and power loaders make a return, albeit for a very brief appearance. The Xenomorphs are a worthy enemy and come in different breeds with all their own distinct sounds, attack styles, and abilities. Standouts tend to be the extreme variations, like the behemoth that will charge you with its indestructible cortex, and blind walkers hypersensitive to sound that will kamikaze into you if you cause too much noise. The Xeno's unpredictability keeps you on your toes and constantly changing up tactics, and quickly teaches you to watch your back for a sneak assassination. The same can't be said for the Weyland-Yutani PMCs, who border on being excruciatingly challenging and god-awfully stupid, hiding in plain sight or not noticing you when you're directly in front of them. Their encounters bog down the frantic fights against the Xenos, and as a result mar the entire experience. The game can also be played in co-op for up to 4 players, and it feels very welcome since Xenos bypass your AI comrades and go straight to you when playing solo. Drop-in, drop-out is included, and it's a great feature, especially since your own loadout is carried over and the game is scaled in difficulty. But there's no difference other than that, meaning that you won't miss much other than competing for the highest score at the end of the level and having a bit more intelligence fighting by your side. Colonial Marines also features competitive play, with 2 teams battling it out across 4 modes, but the network performance at this stage is practically atrocious, with glitches and no hit or damage detection when you're given a clear shot. There are loadouts for both the Marines and Xenos, but they're uneven and lack any serious customization to make you want to strive to unlock everything when it's more fun to do it in the campaign. When it's going and performing well, it is a lot of fun, but it's heavily reliant on teamwork, and it will naturally frustrate those who fail to coordinate their attacks. It's hard to mistake Colonial Marines for not being set in the Alien universe. There are plenty of well-rendered environments and unsettling imagery permeating every corner of the level design, and the Xenomorphs and the recreations of scenes from the original film bring out the best in Gearbox. Sound cues are great when it comes to ambience building atmosphere, and it succeeds in making you tread lightly around every corner, though falls short when it comes to assault rifle sounds and a few ill-directed voice-acted sequences. Some of the lip syncing is a bit off, and character facial expressions are vacant and bland, underrepresenting the storytelling prowess that the franchise is capable of delivering. It's a diamond in the rough overall, but you'll feel involved and immersed well enough into the game's universe.
I
It's a shame that so many basic errors fault what is essentially a fun, engaging gameplay experience in Aliens Colonial Marines. The Xenomorphs are a worthy enemy and keep you adrenalized as you mow through the pedestrian storytelling and stay for the bigger picture changes to the franchise canon. Multiplayer is underdeveloped, but the campaign, solo or co-op, is the draw card and the reason to pick up the game. It's not the truest realization of what a sequel to a classic should be, but it's one of the better Alien titles to hit shelves in a long time and definitely worth a go if you're a fan, an avid FPS gamer, or just mildly curious to see what the fuss is about.